The next display is the BBMF Battle of Britain Memorial Flight.
Don't worry, Crimson, I'll go. Right, well, a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to the world's top military air show, the Royal International Air Tattoo, here today at Sabah. A great view for a first display. That was the Spanish Typhoon that we just saw there being flown. Great performance. Now up next, we have the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, the BBMF. A great heritage to the British Air Force. A very powering display to kick us off there first, though. Great stuff to see here at RIAT. So while the BBMF get themselves ready, I'd like to thank everyone here for coming along and joining us at RIAT here today. And I would like to say a big thank you as well. We have recently just hit 1,000 followers on the RIAT TikTok account, so a big thank you for all your help and support there. It really is appreciated here by the RIAT staff team. So, during the BBMF display, they're going to have to use the B-29 due to the fact that in the game we are using PTFS, there is no Lancaster bomber that we can use, so the closest that we get to the Lancaster is the B-29. But that won't put down the great display of the BBMF, so don't be ashamed, because there is always an option to choose from. So as we look at the current display program for today, we have a big array lineup of aircraft for the RIAT here today. So as we know, we just kicked things off with the Spanish Typhoon. Coming up next, we have the BBMF, and we have a Hawk T1 display after that, then followed by Solo Turk, the F-16 fighting Falcon, and a Chinook display, which we are not quite sure is coming, but we will get word on that within the next few minutes while we watch over. Just would like to put out a couple of rules here today, just for all the given pilots that are flying here at the RIAT. Remember that the display altitude, you are no longer allowed to go under 100 feet, due to the fact of we have to incorporate the safety of the crowd. And at the same time, we do have to remember as well not to break the sound barrier, because UK's speed limit is Mach 0.90, which is the UK speed limit. You are not allowed to break Mach 1.
B-29 taxiing up on the runway. Fort Legend. Like,
Currently, this is a very convenient place, RIAT, due to the fact that next week, as you all probably know, the actual Royal International Air Tattoo is on for the weekend, and some great flying display they have. So yes, it's a great display that I've seen for the real RIAT that is coming up. There's some very great aircraft that are going to be flying.
I got kicked in the game at the moment, so I'm not in. You can.
we know. Yeah, and there is going to have to be only one Hurricane today, as someone decided to leave.
I got
Roger.
kicked.
We'll like to get up quick because time's
Yeah.
ticking.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just take off there.
So yes, as we sit here and wait for the BBMF to come along, a little bit about the BBMF we will talk about. So obviously, during the fact that we haven't got a Spitfire or a Lancaster in the game, so to improvise for the Spitfire and the Lancaster, for the Lancaster we are using the B-29, and for the Spitfire we'll be using a Hurricane. So we'll have a double Hurricane with a B-29, which is going to represent our Lancaster. It doesn't change the display routine though, due to the fact of it will be the BBMF.
But we're approaching Saba, we'll be in about 2 minutes.
So yes, the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, the BBMF, is a living memorial that maintains and operates historic aircraft, as we know, like the Lancaster, the Spitfire, the Hurricane, and the Dakota. Primarily from World War II, so yes, that's where they're all from. And this is all to commemorate those who have fallen in service and to promote the modern day Air Force and inspire future generations.
You can catch it. We have to go around the outside. We can't go for the back because of the planes.
So ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes out to the left hand side of us here, as we should start to see the BBMF arrive. Due to the fact of the engines, they're taking a little bit more time to get up and flying and to get into formation. Yep, there they are, just off to the horizon over there. You can see the Lancaster coming in there, and there's the Hurricane pulling up alongside. So here we go, the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Ladies and gentlemen, from your left hand side, it is the Lancaster and the Hurricane.
You can have just
That is perfect there.
I've just got in the game, I'll come up.
No, don't, Callum.
There we go, as they go for a fly past, a little bit on the Lancaster. The Lancaster, this one is the only one that is maintained in airworthy, that is maintained to be airworthy. There is another one not too far down the road from RAF Coningsby where this is based, down at East Kirby, which is currently on the ground. They don't plan on getting it airworthy anytime soon, but it is one of only 2 airworthy Lancaster bombers. And the Hurricane that you can see is one of only 2 Hurricanes that is airworthy. Both Hurricanes are based at RAF Coningsby. Yep, so based at RAF Coningsby, the BBMF includes aircraft like the Lancaster Bomber, Spitfire and Hurricane fighters, a Dakota Transport and a Chipmunk training aircraft, which the Chipmunk never does its display due to the pure fact that it doesn't fit in with the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight theme. Due to the fact that obviously the Lancaster back in World War II was escorted by Spitfires and Hurricanes, same with the Dakota. The BBMF is more than a museum. Its aircraft participate in around 700 displays, flights annually, including air shows, flypast and commemorative events. So when we mean air shows, it's one like this, RIAT, showing off their greatest skills, flypast like the King's birthday or the Queen's birthday, and commemorative events like D-Day 80 that we saw, and other ones. And there we go, a low fly past from the Hurricane there. BBMF aircraft are regularly flown by the RAF aircrew to maintain and look pretty well, to make sure they're still in flying condition and still very airworthy for performing such maneuvers and showing off such capability of old aircraft. Due to the pure fact that their engines have to be maintained very closely due to they haven't been moved, keep the iconic sound of the Rolls-Royce engines growling through our skies. The motto of the BBMF is "Lest we forget." They use this regularly on the basis when they are flying, when they're displaying, because we don't want to forget those who fought for our lives here, and we wouldn't be here unless it was for them. So the BBMF commemorates the air crews and ground crews who served in World War II and beyond, highlighted, and the sacrifices made in defence of the country. As we can see here, it is being displayed nicely. We got the Hurricane just off to our right there, and the Lancaster is just disappeared a minute, so might just flown back. Not quite sure, we'll have a look. So there we go, fly past by the Hurricane at pretty decent speeds.
Right, going back.
So we can just see the Hurricane off to our right there. So here we go, coming in again, left hand side, we can just see the Lancaster off in the distance, and there's the Hurricane coming in for a wing wave, possibly symbolising the fact it is definitely coming to the end of their display here. We can't do much with such aircraft due to the fact that obviously the Lancaster isn't as powerful as our Avro Vulcan. So our Avro Vulcan obviously have the 200 Olympus engines, and was able to. It was a lot more capable during its time as Lancaster, obviously running the Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, which aren't as powerful. But there we go. Lancaster's just flown off from behind the crowd there, and off goes the Hurricane. That symbolises the end of their display. And we move on to the next aircraft, which is the Hawk T1.
Let me get Pip on stage. Alright, Pipple, have you got your team?
Yeah, we're just going into the place now.
Right.
We're also going to be on a DC and RN server for now.
Yeah.
Is there music to the display or commentary?
Just go commentary.
Roger. Right, well, seems that we are going to see a couple of Hawks today, Hawk T1s. Sadly, the Red Arrows were unable to make it, but we have found clearly the alternative solution to the Reds. So, we won't be missing out on much here. Yes, the background on the Hawk T1, it is a trainer aircraft via the UK Air Force. Once you've finished your basic training, so whether you've gone off to Holton to do your training to become a pilot within the RAF and you passed your aptitude test and all the tests required to become a pilot, you'll then go all the way up to RAF Valley, where you'll be put on under the wing of an instructor and you'll be taught on the T1 Texan and the Hawk T1. Currently, they do have the Hawk T2, where I haven't got too much information on the Hawk T2. I'm not quite sure whether they use it as a trainer aircraft themselves, but I do know that they still use the Hawk T1 very often for training. So, during your basic training in your fast jet, that is the Hawk T1 is classed as your first fast jet. This is where you'll start learning your fast jet hours, where they ask for, so say you want to become a Red Arrows pilot, for example, they ask for at least 1,000 fast jet hours at the bare minimum. And obviously they only pick the best pilots, so when you think of it, if you're learning the Hawk T1 and you want to go off to the Red Arrows, you would already have experience with that type of jet. So yeah, the Hawk has been in service for a very long time. If I remember correctly, I'm not quite sure when the exact date of the Reds of the Hawk T1 came out, but I do know the exact date. It was 1979 where the Red Arrows switched to the Hawk T1. So they've been flying with them for over a good 40 years now, and time is ticking on slowly for the Red Arrows with the Hawk T1. We're hoping to see a very close replacement soon. So we're just waiting until we see the display team coming in. We have no sights currently at the moment, but I can guarantee they should be soon. But yeah, background on the Hawk T1, we can continue on. The top speed, this is 1,038 kilometers an hour, and it is powered by the Rolls-Royce Temeka Adua. Please do correct me if that is wrong, but a very confusing name there. the Hawk T1. It's great aircraft in all its glory. It can be equipped. It can be equipped for fighting case scenarios, so you can actually attach weaponry onto the Hawk T1. It can also have a gun pod mounted on as well. So where the smoke canister is for the red arrows, that can also be changed to a gun pod to show how powerful the aircraft actually is. Yeah, so the BAE Hawk T-Mark 1 is a fully aerobatic, low-wing transonic two-seat trainer. The aircraft that is used by the RAF aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. It is expected to remain in service until 2030 as the mount of the Red Arrows base at RAF Waddington. The Hawk T-Mark 1 is equipped to a operational standard and is capable of undertaking a war role, as I was explaining earlier. It has two underwing pylons cleared to carry AIM-9L sidewinders, air-to-air missiles, or a telemetry pod for recording missions to enable post-flight debriefing. And as we go on about the facts of the Hawk T1, here is two of them coming in from the left-hand side. So in the close air support training role, it can carry up to 8 kg practice bombs. The Hawk T-Mark 1 was withdrawn from service within 100 Squadron on 31st of March 2022, but will continue to serve with the Red Arrows until 2030 at the latest. There we go. Both of the Hawks have just done their first initial flypast. So I do believe these ones have come from Valley. So that is up North Wales way. So if we keep our eyes looking to the right-hand side now, we can see them coming in. Just there, two of them, they're at a decent space apart to show capabilities and range on the aircraft. Here they are from the right-hand side, gears down. For a touch and go via both Hawks. Now, the Hawk T1, it can reach speeds of up to Mach 1. But it can't stay at it for too long due to the pure fact that the fuselage cannot take such force upon it. So we have to, the RAF have to be careful on how much they do push the aircraft. So we have just lost sight of the Hawk T1 at the moment. We are waiting to see if they're going to come back around, or that was just one of their quick displays. Yeah, here they are from the left-hand side again. So here we are from our left-hand side, the two Hawks again. Coming in at speeds of up to 300 knots. So originally the plan for the Red Arrows was they were going to use the Hawk T2, the counterpart of the T1, which we can see being displayed very nicely here. But the Hawk T2 didn't come to much, and much weren't made of them. So the production of the Hawk T2 was slowing down. But we are lucky to still have the Hawk T1 slowly still in service here today. As we can see, being flown with a great demonstration. Yes, so the Hawk T1 entered service with the Royal Air Force back in 1979. It was introduced to replace the Fowler Gnat as the RAF's advanced trainer. Yeah, the RAF selected the HS-1182, the Hawk's original designation, in 1971, and the main contract was signed in 1972 with the RAF. The Hawk T1s were delivered to the RAF in 1976. The aircraft was initially used for advanced flight and weapon training. Hawk T1 was also used by the Red Arrows once again, who re-equipped it with the type in 1980, according to the Royal Air Force. And the RAF retired the Hawk T1 from operational use in March 2022. So yeah, there is no longer any Hawk T1s that are being made. The Red Arrows are upkeeping their ones here. And these ones are being upkept very well and still being pushed beyond and above their limits, which is great to see, showing the aircraft can withstand still, which is just pure British engineering at its finest. So as we come to the end of this display now, we take a look at the next aircraft coming up on our programme here today. And it is the F-16 Solo Turk that will be flying next. So yes, I do believe that is the Hawk T1s going back to the airport where they took off from. And now we move on to the F-16 Solo Turk. So as we wait for the F-16 Solo Turk, we can now get on with some of the other aircraft that are going to be coming. So yeah, the Chinook is still a possibility. That will be on after the Solo Turk. And then we have the arrival of the B-2, which is a stealth aircraft. We have the Boeing P-8 Poseidon and the English Electric Lightning, more British aircraft coming up. So here we go. From the left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, it is Solo Turk, the F-16 Fighting Falcon C. So clearly the name of Solo Turk comes from Turkey. So this is the Turkish display aircraft here being shown. A wing wave showing off the capabilities of the aircraft, the maneuverabilities, and also showing off its fly-by-wire, which is equipped into most newer aircraft. This modern day and age, so the F-16 is one of the most powerful aircraft it's one of the most powerful aircraft that the US own at the moment. The most powerful that they do own is the F-15, which is their most powerful fighter. So yep, there we go, just in front of us there. The F-16 with its iconic Solo Turk livery. So Solo Turk is the solo aerobatic demonstration team of the Turkish Air Force, utilised as a specially painted F-16C Block 30TM fighter jet. The team was established in 2011 to showcase the capabilities and training standards of the Turkish pilots. The aircraft is not just for display, it retains combat capabilities and can be used for training and minor operations. So there you go, this aircraft is not just, as you see for display here, it is used in modern day combat. The purpose of this aircraft is to demonstrate the maneuverability and the training of the Turkish pilots. A very nice way to show off what they expect of the pilots that they train up, recruit. And there we go, it is the end of the Solo Turk display. And we move on to the Chinook. Is there a pilot for the Chinook that's flying, or are we...
Policeman, you gonna do the Chinook? Policeman? Is he even in the school? There he is. Hey, policeman, if you could do the Chinook, that'd be great. Is he even in the server?
Can we get an update on the Chinook pilots?
Policeman, are you gonna do it or what? Whoever's in the F-35, get out. We might just have to skip this one.
There is no Chinook, we will move on to the B-2
Alright, Isaac.
bomber.
Can you kick
Didn't have
Liverpool
to stop
Gamer?
the problem. Isaac is in the queue, but he can't join.
He was in the game a couple of minutes ago. There's a guy in a jet. That's not him. I was getting Liverpool Gamer 4.
The pilot is joining now, the pilot's in. So we will have the B-2 display. And then as the B-2 display then comes to an end after that, we have the Boeing P-8 Poseidon. And we move on to the English Electric Lightning.
I think Geffen's took Isaac's spot to join.
No, Isaac is in.
Is he?
Yeah,
Where?
probably at the airport.
He's not. He's not on the leaderboard.
Yeah, he is in. He's in the server.
Don't think he is. He's in the voice chat. He's not in the Roblox game.
Yeah, same.
Bro, what? I'm literally at Tokyo right now, and there's only a guy called Super Monkey. I think he's joined the wrong server.
If not, we'll have to move on to the P8 Poseidon, and then while we try to get Isaac in, we'll have to put him after the P8. Okay, so I have just got word in that the B2 has taken off. And is going to make its way over to our display area now. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you keep your eyes looking towards the left-hand side of the crowd now, of the crowd line actually, you shall start to see, peering around the mountain, if it ain't in stealth mode, the B2 stealth bomber.
Where is he? I don't think he's not. Ewan, he's not in the game.
Are we sure he's not in the game?
Yeah, look at the leaderboard. All only people on my friends list is you, Ken, Callum, you, Flake Fleet, and Policeman. There's no Isaac.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Should we just move on?
Yeah, move on to the,
Alright, Jack, you can take off to P8 Poseidon.
Roger, we'll get the P8 Poseidon up.
He has music to this.
Roger, so silence for me and everyone else, and we have music to this display.
I'll start the music when he comes over to you, and if you want to say something a bit P8 beside him until he comes over.
Yep, that is very much more than possible. So the P8 Poseidon, yes, an aircraft of its kind. So the Boeing P-8 Poseidon is a maritime patrol aircraft used for anti-submarine warfare. It has anti-surface warfare as well, and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. It's a militarized version of the Boeing 737-800 and is equipped with the advanced sonar weapon system and communications capability. So the P-8A is not just for anti-submarine warfare, it is also equipped for surface warfare such as well. But the less of that, on with music. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Boeing P-8 Poseidon as it finishes its display. And up next, we do have the aircraft that was meant to fly. It's the B-2 stealth bomber. And that is already airborne and ready to do its display. Just waiting to see the B-2 appear. Is there a B-2 flying? Oh no, there it is! Out of nowhere, the B-2 appears over the mountain and is in for its display. So there we are. So the B-2 Spirit, also known as the Stealth Bomber, is a strategic long-range bomber known for its stealth capabilities, allowing it to penetrate sophisticated air defences. It's a flying wing design with a crew of 2 capable of delivering both conventional and nuclear weapons. The B-2 has a subsonic speed, a range of up to 6,000 nautical miles, and a combat ceiling of 50,000 feet. So, when you think of it, that is some very good facts coming from the B-2 there. Well, what about the B-2 shape? Including its curved surfaces and the lack of vertical stabilizers, is designed to minimize radar reflection, making it difficult to detect. So on a standard radar, this aircraft will look just the size of a golf ball on a radar, which to radar that is very small, as every other aircraft shows up way bigger. So this is undetectable. It can carry a payload of 40,000 pounds, which is about 18,144 kilograms of bombs, including up to 8,500 pound class Mark 82 JDAM GPS guided bombs, or 16 2,400 pound B-83 nuclear bombs. Then why do we have a TriStar? The B-2 can travel 6,000 nautical miles, also known as 11,100 kilometers, unrefueled, and can reach a high subsonic speed, which helps with quicker travel. So, as we know, the B-2 is operated by a crew of 2 pilots, a pilot and a mission commander. The unit cost is approximately $1.157 billion. So it is an expensive aircraft to run for many missions. As we know, it was recently used in a current mission for Iraq. So we won't go into too much detail about it. But the home base, the B-2's home base is Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. development and production. It was developed by Northrop and produced from 1988 to 2000. The B-2 has been used in operations like Allied Force and Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. So those are the names of just some of the missions it has done. So the B-2 loves to be taken the mick out of due to the fact that it is the only bomber ever to have its own microwave on board and also a toilet in the back, due to the fact that of long-ranged missions. So that is funny facts about the B-2 there. So if you didn't know, now you know. It is a great fact to know. So you can go around and tell your friends, well, guess what? Did you know the B-2 stealth bomber had a toilet on board and had its own microwave? And they'd be like, oh, wow, really? But yeah, it does. It is a crazy fact, and it is being confirmed by pilots that actually do fly it, and has been confirmed by the United States Air Force. I do believe that it does cost money to use the toilet on board the B-2. No, hang on, that is wrong. I've been told that wrong. No, it does not cost money to use the toilet on the B-2 bomber. While the B-2 Spirit is a very expensive aircraft, costing over $2 billion per unit, the toilet is included as a standard comfort for the crew during long missions. These missions can last for 40 hours or more, requiring the crew to have access to basic necessities like a place to rest and the use of the bathroom. So there you go. There is beds on board as well, probably, on the B-2. So, there is the end of the B-2. And now we have the English Electric Lightning. And this one does have music to it. And we do have a supersonic F-15. Can we sort out that, please? I can try to get that for you now. James something.
Oh my god, that's that guy that DM'd me.
well. The English Electric Lightning, a great piece of British aviation there. Super, a very quick jet as well. So moving on from the English Electric Lightning, we have the F-15.
Oh god, he's not online. Who's James? Is Chow even in his voice chat? No, he's not. It's great, isn't it? Chow. I don't think Chow is. Oh, he's not. He's got a ping on his phone. F-15.
The F-15.
Alright, he's hopping on.
So yeah, there we go. The F-15 is hopping on now, so gotta wait a little bit, but we'll use this to take a 5-minute break. And here's the question so far. What is your favourite aircraft you have seen currently in today's air show? So a recap on what has flown. Currently, what has flown is the Spanish Typhoon, which we saw right at the start. We then had the BBMF, then a Hawk T1 display, then we had the Solo Turk F-15. We then saw the Boeing P-8 Poseidon, and then followed by the B-2. And then after the B-2, we then saw the English Electric Lightning. So let us know whether if you're watching via our stream or if you are here in game, let us know what was your favourite aircraft so far. Because yet we do have another load of aircraft coming up for you. We do have, as we know, the F-15 is coming up now, the F-35B. We do have the British Typhoon flying. There is a MiG-15, a Gripen, the Su-57. We have an A330 tanker, Harrier, an F-14 Tomcat, the F-4 Phantom, and the A6M0. All to come now, and coming up on the RIAT program. Another big question is as well, who is also going to the actual Royal International Air Tattoo this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Can't wait to go to that. The hype is up on that one. So yes, as we just still sat here waiting for the F-15 to arrive, shouldn't be too much longer now. We are currently on our little 5-minute break. We do have to have a bit of a break between each display, so we know what's going on between each pilot. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone that has come to the RIAT. It has been such a great pleasure to obviously come along, be able to put on such air shows for people.
Also, remember the competition. Whoever's got the best photo wins 50 Robux.
Oh yes, the competition. Yes, I totally forgot about that. But we'll talk about more later after we watch the F-15.
Oh my god.
And the F-15 will have to lower its speed due to its Mark 1 entry, which is over the UK law. So it is breaking every rule of display here right now. So yeah, it's just out in front of us now. It's still going at very high speeds. We need that F-15 to lower its speeds now, or we can't have it displaying. I'm gonna have some facts on the F-15 though as well. So the F-15 Eagle is a twin-engine, all-weather tactical fighter designed for air superiority. It is known for its speed, maneuverability, and advanced avionics. The F-15 has been in service with the US Air Force since 1976, just as long as the Hawk T-1 with the British Air Force, and has been sold to several US allies. A notable feature is its impressive thrust-to-weight ratio, allowing it to accelerate vertically. So a big story about the F-15, this happened quite a while ago, but it's still a very cool story to talk about. An F-15 out on a mission got its left wing, I believe, chopped off. It was either the left or right wing, got chopped off, and it had to fly back to base with one wing, and managed to do so and land successfully with one wing. That is such a great piece of... that's something to brag about. If your base had an F-15 land with one wing, that's a big brag. And I give you the right to brag about that, because that is absolutely insane for an F-15 just to land with one wing. Not many aircraft can do that. So, yep. The F-15... What was that? Yeah. The F-15 was designed to dominate the skies, achieving this through a combination of speed, maneuverability, and advanced weapons and avionics. And the F-15 boasts a high thrust-to-weight ratio, which, combined with its low wing loading, allows it to make sharp turns without losing speed and even accelerating vertically. So a good example of this is with the new F-15, the F-15 QA, which was given to the Qatar Air Force. So it's the F-15 QA Ababil, which was displayed at our last RIAT and was a great demonstration. I do believe that was the end of our F-15 display. And we will move on to the F-35B. Okay, so as we wait for the F-35 here, anything from any of the other staff here that needs to be said?
No, I think it's going all well at the moment.
Roger, well, it was great to hear. So there is music to this display.
What display is this again?
I'm asking now.
Oh yeah, right. I know what this one is. Let me find it.
And there's the name of that. So just before we put on the music, we're waiting for the F-35B to arrive. A little bit behind the F-35B. It's our brand new 5th generation fighter. So it is in use via the US Air Force. It's in use via the British Air Force as well. So in the UK, we have them based at RAF Lakenheath, which is also a US military base. We also have them based with the Dambuster Squadron 617, and I can't remember what base that is, but I will get back to you shortly on that one. But I do believe the F-35 is circling around out there. So without further ado, I will finish the commentary here, and it is on to the music with the F-35. And there we go for the F-35 display. So we'll just see the final manoeuvre of the F-35 here, and then we'll move on to the next aircraft, which is the C-17 Globemaster II. Yes, so currently now we have a cargo aircraft. That is fine. We'll just wait for confirmation to know that the C-17 is actually here. And then once we know that the C-17 is here and flying, then we'll get ready with finding out if there is music. And if there is music, then we'll then move on to finding out if to listen to either the music or we'll have commentary with the aircraft. So displaying after the C-17, we have the Typhoon, then the MiG-15, and then we move on to the Gripen. So a bit of change of aircraft there, and just off to the left-hand side, you can't miss it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the C-17. Or I believe it might have been a KC-2. Yep, there we go. Initial fly past via the C-17. And back to, sorry about the, where 617 Squadron is. For the information of the F-35, that is in RAF Marham. So just get back to you on that one. So the C-17 Globemaster is a large military transport aircraft known for its versatility, capable of carrying troops, cargo and equipment to various locations, including airfields that don't have a proper runway. It's a high-wing, four-engine aircraft with a distinctive T-tail. The C-17 can operate in diverse conditions and has a long-range capability, often requiring in-flight refueling. So, the primary function of the C-17 is cargo and troop transport. The manufacturer is Boeing. The engines are four Pratt & Whitney F117PW 100 turbofan engines. So those are the four engines you can see on the wings. The length of the C-17 is 174 feet and has a height of 55 feet and 1 inch. The speed of the C-17 is 450 knots, which is Mach 0.74. and has a ceiling of 28,000 feet. Global within flight refueling is the range of the aircraft, and a crew of 3 is needed. 2 pilots and 1 loadmaster. The payload of the C-17 is 170,900 pounds, or 77,519 kilograms. Maximum takeoff weight of the C-17 is 585,000 pounds, or 265,352 kilograms. So, special features of the C-17, it can take off and land on runways as short as 3,500 feet and as narrow as 90 feet wide. It can back up and turn around using engine thrust reversers on a small runway, and designed to operate in harsh terrain and unpredictable conditions. It can also carry a heavy and oversized payload, which is basically its main capabilities and functions. The C-17 is a versatile and vital asset for military operations worldwide. Its ability to operate from airfield, non-proper airfields, and its long-range capabilities makes it a crucial player in global airlift missions. Yep, that is the C-17 for you, and that is the end of the C-17 display for you as well. And now we move on to the next aircraft, which is the Eurofighter Typhoon FGR-4. So here's a question: is there music to this display?
Aircraft. Sorry,
The Typhoon.
oh no, it's Callum. I don't think he has any music.
Right. Well, the Typhoon. We saw the Spanish version of that. That is the EF2000 that started at the start of the display. And now this is the FGR4 version. Saddest news here today as well about the Typhoon, and within the British Air Force. The RAF have declined Boeing for making the next Typhoon and handing it to the Royal Air Force, because the RAF want to focus on building up their F-35 fleet instead of their Typhoon fleet. So it looks like the era of Typhoon is slowly closing up, which is not what we want. So sadly, if that does happen, Typhoon will be going out of service earlier than we expect. But it's not for certain yet. It's what the RAF said. Where if they will go with what they want, we will have to wait to find out.
Someone says Ewan, actually the Spanish Typhoon was a C-16 Tiffin.
C-16 Tiffin. Fair enough, the C-16 Tiffin it was then. I automatically assumed it was the EF2000 version. Due to,
In PTFS, they literally just have one version.
We're currently waiting to see if Typhoon is coming. It seems to be taking its time.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, that is my bad. Yes, the Typhoon. My bad. I was too busy looking at the everything else. Yeah, so here it is, the Typhoon. My bad. Yes, so here it is, based out of RAF Coningsby, the RAF Typhoon. Yeah, so a Typhoon. Oh, hang on. Typhoon is the quickest jet currently owned by the US Air Force. Not the US Air Force, sorry. The RAF. So the Typhoon is a twin-engine Canard Delta Wing multi-role fighter jet designed and manufactured by a consortium of European companies. It is known for its advanced technology, exceptional maneuverability, and swing roll capabilities, meaning it can switch between air-to-air and air-to-ground missions with ease. Powerful engines allow it to reach supersonic speeds, and it's equipped with a range of weapons for various combat scenarios. So the Typhoon is equipped with advanced sonars and weapons. It features a Captor E radar and Pirate IRST sensors for enhanced situational awareness and targeting, along with a variety of air-to-air and air-to-surface weapons. So the two Eurojet EJ200 engines provided the aircraft with a high thrust-to-weight ratio, which is what we can see here, enabling the supersonic speeds, that excellent maneuverability as well. So the Typhoon can maintain supersonic speeds without using afterburner for extended periods, enhancing its operational capabilities. Defensive systems on the Typhoon: the Mediterranean Electronic Defense Aid Subsystem, also known as the DASS, or DAS, protects the aircraft from threats like missiles. So the Typhoon can be deployed for air policing, peace support, and high-intensity conflict, making it a key part of the Royal Air Force equipment. So the top speed on the Typhoon is 2,495 kilometers an hour, and has two lookalikes, also known as the Dassault Rafale and the Saab JAS 39 Gripen, which we'll also see later on in the show. So, RAF Coningsby started housing jets back in 1960. That's when it transitioned into a fighter station. And then in 1976, then became home to the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. So it's RAF Coningsby. It is home to RAF Coningsby was built just before World War II and became the home of 617 Squadron, also known as the Dam Busters, then later taken on by the Typhoons. So currently there at the moment is 29 Squadron. We have 3 Fighter Squadron, the new Station Command, 12 Squadron, XI Fighter Squadron, and that is it. It is also home to number 3 Fighter Wing, and also holds, obviously, one station for the QRA team for the RAF. I believe that is the end of the Typhoon display there. Probably came to an end an hour ago, probably. As we move on. And next up we have the MiG-15. Do we have music for the MiG-15?
Yes, one sec. Yeah, I'll play that now.
Roger. And enough commentation, on with the music.
Is the MiG-15 near?
It is already over.
Oh.
There we go, the MiG-15 display comes to an end, and we move on to the next item on our display list. It is the Saab JS-39 Gripen. Roger, yeah. If the pilot ain't here, we'll see about moving just straight on to the next item. Do we have a pilot for the Saab? Oh yeah, that is the Gripen there. I believe he's possibly waiting for the music for his display.
The Griffin doesn't have any music, I swear.
And then how come it's just circling? Oh no, here it comes in. Okay, that was confusing, but yes, here we go. It is the Gripen. So as I was talking earlier, just before the just as the Typhoon display was coming on, this is a counter-looking aircraft. It's a counterpart-looking aircraft of the Typhoon, due to obviously having the Delta wing and the Delta canards. The only other fact is it just doesn't have two engines and isn't as big and wide as the Typhoon. Yet it is just as manoeuvrable as the Typhoon as well. So it sort of works both ways. So yes, the Saab JAS-39 Gripen is a Swedish multi-role fighter aircraft known for its agility, advanced avionics, and ability to operate from dispersed locations. So what it means by dispersed is the fact that this thing can take off from a road runway. So in Sweden they have runways, motorways that are used as runways. It's designed for roles including air-to-air combat, air-to-ground attack, and reconnaissance. Hence the JAS designation. The Gripen's programmability, due to its integrated avionics, allows for software updates and performance enhancements over time. The Gripen is one of the first aircraft designed to seemingly switch between air-to-air and air-to-ground and reconnaissance missions. It's a lightweight fighter, so means it is very manoeuvrable, as we can see here, as it comes in for a high alpha and is easy to maintain. The Gripen can be equipped with a variety of air-to-air and air-to-ground and anti-ship missiles, as well as bombs and targeting pods. So they would be put under the wing. The Gripen was designed and developed by Saab for the Swedish Air Force, with the new name the Gripen, meaning Griffin in, I'm guessing, Swedish. The Gripen E/F is the latest version, incorporating 5th generation avionics and radar into a 4th generation frame. So this is a 4th generation fighter with 5th generation fighter avionics on board. So it means it is a very powerful fighter and is well used, hopefully, by its users. So the Gripen has a delta wing and canard configuration with relaxed stability design and fly-by-wire flight controls, and later aircraft are fully NATO interpretable. So it has up to 2 seats, so you can get a 2-seat version of the Gripen. This one here is a single seat. The length overall is 15 meters, with an overall width of 8.6 meters. Maximum takeoff weight is 16,500 kilograms, So I think that is pretty heavy. It's a pretty heavy aircraft overall. So the Gripen jet has a top speed of up to Mach 2, approximately 2,470 kilometers an hour, or 1,535 miles an hour at a high altitude. Speed is achievable thanks to its powerful engine and relatively lightweight airframe. The Gripen E in particular utilizes the General Electric F414G engine, which allows it to reach supersonic speeds without using afterburner or burning too much fuel, so that will save fuel. And there we go. It's the end of the Gripen display, and we move on to the next item in our playlist here today. So the next aircraft that we have coming up now is the Su-57. Then we have the final few aircraft of the day then, coming up with the A330 tanker, the Harrier, the F-14 Tomcat, the F-4 Phantom, and to end the thing off, and to end the whole air show off, we end with the A6M0 from the Japanese Air Force.
Right, there's music to this one.
Okay, so there is music to this one, so no more commentary from here on out.
It's like